Welcome back to Confessions of Beauty Boss.
Yes, so this is our final one before we finish up for our summer break. If you want a season 3, keep us posted. We didn't even think we'd make it to season 2. Maybe you're fed up with us by now.
We're fed up talking.
No, we could talk for hours. It's just trying to get ideas sometimes, isn't it? I think it's just because we've got everything else going on. If it was our sole purpose, it would be great.
I know. We do say to people, what will we talk about?
I know.
Because like our husbands will say, what do you used to find to talk about? I'm like, it's just like being in the office, really.
I know.
And this is the way we
talk
to
shite
each
all
other
day in the
across
office. Okay, so this week's topic is your favourite duos. So let's start off with famous duos.
Oh.
Like, I would say my probably favourite is Ant and Dec. I find them hilarious.
Aye.
But you watched The Traitors, didn't you? I didn't watch The Traitors.
Yeah.
Was there any funny duos out of that?
So I watched it this year. It's the first time I'd watched it. I'd never watched the previous episodes. I think there was only one Celebrity Traitors before the one I watched. So this one, it was like Alan Carr, the big guy Joe that was a rugby player. So there was people in it I'd never seen before, never heard of, and I actually really loved their characters.
I love Alan Carr. I think he is hilarious.
So there's one of mine. So yeah, I think they're pretty much Marmite. I love Alan Carr. Stevie hates him. My mum hates him. His voice, they just irritate
I think
him.
he's so fun.
He's
got an infectious laugh.
And Amanda Holden and him, would they do that wee thing where they go around Europe and they buy a house and they decorate it? I'm not an Amanda Holden fan. I find her quite arrogant. But on this, I find Alan Carr makes her palatable.
So was she on it? I didn't know she was on it.
So it's Alan Carr and Amanda Holden. They buy a house together. So they're friends.
I'm thinking The Traitors there. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I know
that programme I'm talking about. So that's Alan Carr I've always liked.
Right.
But I find Amanda Holden a bit up herself and all the rest of it. However, I find her bearable when she's with Alan Carr because I find there's a side to her when she's with him.
He brings out a playful side. Yeah.
And it's a much nicer watch. And even Stevie started watching it because we love looking at places in Europe where they do them all up and they go and decorate them and all that kind of stuff. But duos like that, I think in Traitors this year, the duos and that was Jonathan Ross and Alan Carr.
They would have been good together.
So it was they two and the girl Kat. I think she was an athlete. I think she's like a gold medalist or something. Okay. So 3 completely different people. Then they were the Traitors. Right. And they done so well. They got so far and Alan Carr won it. But all the way through, when you seen him off camera, he was proper like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this because this is not my personality. Yeah. I don't know how I'm getting away with it. But they were brilliant.
Great.
But Ant and Dec are just...
Ant and Dec are your staples, aren't you?
Of course they are.
Before Holly and Phil all went to a devastating crash. No, Ant and Dec, you know, I watch clips on TikTok because I don't scroll on TikTok sometimes still, of their podcast they've brought out.
I know, I've never watched it. I keep saying I should.
Makes me laugh every time he laughs because it just goes into pure fits of laughter where Ant's trying to be serious about things and I honestly... so comical.
We talked recently about the jungle thing and I find they two on that are so...
they're so good.
Cheeky, mischievous, the way they wind them all up like, well, we're away to play golf and have a big steak and you can just all sit there.
Do you know, Dec was always my favourite, but then see after seeing Ant and how he stood up for Adam and the live show of the I'm a Celebrity, I actually had a newfound respect for him because obviously he's been through his tough times and I just thought, obviously sticking up for ITV as well, but I just thought, good for you. Like, because obviously they're not really allowed to do that.
No.
Being
as the presenters, they're supposed to be neutral, whereas he was just like,
he just wasn't having it. I loved it. But so it's gave me a couple of options. So like Ant and Dec or Love Island besties. So like some Molly May and Maura throwback. Maura was hilarious.
Aye.
Molly May I find a bit dull.
I still find a bit dull.
Aye. I don't know.
Nice lassie.
Aye.
She's a nice lassie.
This says Kim Kardashian Kourtney, but I wouldn't put Kourtney in that. I would put Khloe Kardashian. I love Khloe Kardashian.
I do like Khloe. She's the one I like as well. Actually, Kourtney's the one that's married to the
Travis Barker.
Nah, I like
after Travis Barker had basically been with Kim years ago. Been with.
Oh.
Why would you want a double dip after your
your sister?
That's a bit weird, but we move. So we're going ahead. This was just a wee teaser, a wee beginning of like, let's think about who your favourite kind of celebrity duos are because we're a duo, aren't we?
I suppose we are.
We are a duo.
Come as a pair.
Yeah,
Kate and Jenny.
We always have a laugh, don't we, when we're doing social? We always stand at the same time, the same side. We're like Ant and Dec. But, so yeah, so let's go on again. So we've obviously brought up the Kardashian kind of franchise thing. And let's look at like, so for instance, Kris Jenner. Do you ever remember Amy put in the group chat, Kris Jenner works hard, but Jenny works harder? And I was like, I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or not. But yeah, Kris Jenner. Do you know all the background in her and
not
how
really.
she
I know who
she
was married to, and then she married Bruce Jenner, and I know obviously the whole trauma. Her husband was the lawyer for the O.J. Simpson case and all the rest of it.
So basically, she's the momager. Really. She's the one that's basically set up every one of their careers. There's kind of whispers about saying, do you know how basically they got big off of the back of that Kim Kardashian sex tape, were ex-boyfriends. Yeah. But there's whispers going about that basically Kris curated all that. So she knew about the tape and she basically put it out there.
I remembered hearing that actually, that they said she's put it out to give them fame.
So then they ended up with a reality show in the back of that. They did it as a pilot.
And them as a family are just...
Kylie Jenner, who's the youngest out of them all, is basically the richest out of the lot of them because she's got her Kylie Cosmetics and everything. But
you wonder if there's resentment.
Kris takes the 10% off them all. Yes,
momager. Of course she does. And I think you wonder if there's resentment in the family now, though, because obviously the wee sister, who's not really a full sister, it's different does. You just wonder if there's a bit of resentment there where this wee whippersnappers came up and she's stealing my limelight.
Obviously they can perceive what they want because they're all producers in their own shows, but it genuinely looks like the sisters are all like
supportive,
close knit, and there's no divide between them. I suppose the only divide is obviously Bruce Jenner had a family before where there was like Brody Jenner, etc. He had his own reality stuff. I loved him back in the day.
I don't watch all of that. So I've seen a couple episodes of the Kardashians, but I don't follow who they all are.
So he is brother to like the two youngest ones because Bruce is the same dad, but that looks fractured. It doesn't look like they've got a great relationship. Whereas I suppose it is always where the mum is, isn't it?
Of course it is. Of course it is. It's the mum that kind of holds in that situation.
The glue that holds it together. So going by Kris Jenner being momager, she's very kind of strategic in how she plays things out. She can get shit done, right? That woman is, I don't even know how she manages because she's in her 70s now. She looks phenomenal. Did you see her new facelift?
No.
I mean, if you were ever to get a facelift, you'd probably pay him.
It's funny how some can get it so right and others can get it so wrong.
Oh, she's clearly went to a good surgeon. I know.
Sharon,
I know. But then she's been on that Manjaro.
But the two of them at the Brit Awards presenting, I was like, oh my God,
they're so frail looking.
I know, they've been through a lot, obviously, with Ozzy dying.
It's sad.
They're living in the spotlight and all the rest of it. They've had their own traumas with drink and drugs. And Jack Osborne, you loved him in the Jungle.
Oh, he was brilliant in the Jungle. It actually came across really well. So momager versus normal manager. So your regular managers, structured, professional. Your Chris's, your momagers would have like the emotional background, strategic, slightly chaotic. I feel like I've got a bit of Kris on me. Would you perceive it as supporting or controlling?
Oh, because I haven't watched it a lot, I would probably say controlling.
So do you think then she's not empowered her kids, she's more exploited them?
Yes.
I think there's an element of both.
I see, because I don't watch it, that I only
but again,
see her
I'm only seeing what them as producers want you to see. But I mean, she's certainly built a life for them all, whether it's detrimental to them or not.
That was the reason I watched it, to see inside all their houses.
You should see them all now.
And
do you know what? Their houses are now for me. They're too big and cold looking. There's no personality about it.
There's no coziness.
And then they've got a full team of people working for them in their house. What if you want to walk about in your knickers?
Fart. If you want to have a good fart.
No,
people there
oh no. I'd like a chef. See if I was rich, I'd love a chef. Just to...
Aye, a cleaner and a chef, I think would be all I would need. I wouldn't want people about.
No, I wouldn't want people living having living quarters and stuff. That's too much. Too much.
I suppose they've got like PAs and all that kind of stuff all over them all the time. Just at their beck and call.
Aye. But it's funny, right? Because off camera, we just had a discussion about how we do too much for our kids in this day and age, and how we didn't have that same back in our day, and that's what's built resilience and stuff for us. So Chris is obviously controlling a lot of what's going on in the background. Do you think that works within your family dynamic? Because we're obviously just saying that she's exploiting them and stuff and she's controlling it, but we've literally just had a chat about how much control we have over what our kids do and where their finances are and what we take over, and giving them a wee bit of responsibility back. And
oh, absolutely. We have controlling issues. My problem is probably releasing some of that control, because would they do it right or would they do it?
That's how you learn.
I know. And you have to let them make mistakes. So things like worrying about, giving them control, not giving them, they have control, a bit like them taking on a credit card at a young age. And I'm like, because they don't think it's money.
But again, that's how you learn. I had a credit card and I went wild with it. And I had to pay that off. Mm-hmm. Nobody else helped me paying it off, and that was a hard lesson to learn. Yeah. I had store cards.
I know.
I
am probably very controlling with things like that. I'm always saying to them, have you paid this? Have you done that?
But remember, that's how they build up credit as well, like for good credit ratings. That they're actually, and if they have bad credit rating, they need to
learn from it. They need to correct that over time and work at that to make sure that they can get it. Because likes of that, getting a mortgage and stuff, and savings. So like my oldest, we've been saying to him for years, like my husband's a great saver. He's always like allocating, divvying up his money. And
Kate spends like it's water.
I don't think about it because
I'm like, that's money mindset.
It's a good one in control, and the other one's happy just spending going through life spending. Where I feel as though they need to, be careful about how much they're saving. And the two younger ones are not too young, they're just coming into it now. We'll give them a couple of years enjoying themselves. Like my husband will always say, he's always skint. And I'm like, he's 22. He's never at the pub, his pals, he's having a great time. He's buying rubbish and all the rest of it. But the older one, when he got to about 26, 27, we were like that. You're going to have to start saving and, change things. And we kind of pushed that and forced that to happen. And even now, it's still not enough to get him on the property ladder. He's still going to have to save another wee bit, because it's this whole, everything goes over the asking price and properties and all that. So going back to the whole controlling thing, I worry about that. I probably am controlling them to...
See, I'm maybe a wee bit more...
protecting them too much.
Restricting them, having more control themselves. Like from the moment Eve started working, I'm like 10% of that goes in a savings account. You need to get used to paying things. Yeah. She pays every second driving lesson. I pay one, she pays one.
Well, we do a wee bit of that in ours as well. Like they pay their insurance and stuff. We pay it at the start of the year to save them paying interest on a monthly payment. We pay it, but they pay it back every month. So that they're paying it for themselves. But again, that's no good, because it's that whole
They've got
credit
used to paying interest and stuff like that as well. I know.
And the youngest is the best. Luca's the best saver, because he had a good apprenticeship. He had good money. He came from having a couple of £100 from McDonald's, to jumping up to like £1,300 a month all of a sudden in his first job. So right away I was like that to him. You don't need a lot of that. So right away he put half of that in the bank. So his savings went up massively. So when he went to buy a car...
He's maybe seeing what's happened with his two big brothers and thinking, I'm not going in that zone, I'm going to do things differently.
And he's still the best saver, and he's probably on the lowest money out of the three of them, and he's still the best saver out of them all. But then he can then book a holiday and his savings go down, but then he starts again. But he's got that
I think it's good for them to see their own savings going down as well, because it almost instills a bit of panic of, I don't kind of like it under that certain amount. I have a certain amount in my bank. I would never bring my bank down to zero. I always have a certain amount that I'm like, that feels uncomfortable if I go below that. So
we're like that in work. With certain accounts, we don't want them. We don't want to take money out them. And we're the same at home as well, where we've put money away over the years and we put savings away every month. And then we have a wee month where we maybe buy something new for the house or we book a holiday. And you take a chunk out it, but we both go,
need to get that back up again. I know.
Like Stevie just said to me yesterday, because we'd had a wee kind of spending splurge recently, buying a couple of things or paying for an Airbnb for where we were going away. And he sent me a message yesterday, and it was like that whole big rant again, saying, right, we need to rein it in. That savings account's taking a hit
here we go again.
And I'm like, oh, right, okay. I was like, I think I'll just go to Costco and spend some money then. No bother coming home.
It's that dopamine hit, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting for different people's takes, especially.
Do you think you're controlling? No.
I'm controlling in work, 100%. At home, I would... It depends what it is. I'm a big believer in my kids making their own mistakes because that's how you're going to learn from it. Even down to like the studying thing. Like my mum was very strict when I was at school of what nights I should be studying and stuff, and I asked about because I didn't want to do it and I didn't like getting told what to do, and I wanted to be out with my pals or my boyfriend or whatever. Whereas I don't know if I'll be so much with Lewis. Eve's quite good at like getting herself
so you
going.
Probably don't have to.
But there has been some moments where she's been a bit surprised by her results and not as happy with her results, and
because
she needs to come to that realisation that you get back what you put in. And that's definitely a style of parenting of me that I'm just kind of like, you need to make mistakes because that's how you grow from them. I don't know if it's just kids in general these days. It's this having to be perfect at everything. I'm like, nobody's perfect, and you can't put that pressure on yourself. And
I remember all through school, Jude and Luca thinking they had to go to uni.
Aye.
It was almost like the school kept saying to them, you need to go to uni.
That's the school.
If you want to go to uni, you need these results. I don't think they ever thought of any other career because the school just kept focusing on what do you want to do at uni. Like Jude,
whereas
from a wee boy,
Eve's always wanted to go to uni. I don't think Lewis is at first. Aye. So I keep saying to him, Eve's not your... Like, that's not who you have to, like, mirror yourself off of. You're your own person. Like, my brother went to uni. I didn't when I was younger. I went to college. I went to uni later on in life, but that's because that was a progression I wanted to take at that time.
Whereas mine, I feel as though all through school, it was like the results were led for uni. So Jude always wanted to be a PE teacher. He was about primary 6 or 7, he said it, and he kind of carried it on through school. So when he got to school and must have said that at some point to career people, it was like, right, okay, you need this result and that result and get to uni and all the rest of it. When he left, he decided to go down the college route first of all. So he was doing 2 years at college and then he would go on and do his 3rd and 4th year at uni because somebody had said to him along the way, I think it was my cousin's son, uni's not for everybody. It's very theory, studious, and whereas if you go down the college route, you're more placements, you're in a classroom setting, you're out at schools, much more interactive. That's Jude's personality.
And uni is much more self-directed study. You need to be strict with yourself if you want to pass your course.
And Jude needed that. He needed somebody saying to him, you need to push yourself to get to this point and this point and this point. So he went and did college and hated it. See, he got accepted to go into his 3rd and 4th year at uni, and we were away on holiday and he'd been building himself up to say to us, I don't want to do it. I don't want to go and sit in uni for 2 or 3 years. I want to actually get out and work and make some money and enjoy what I'm doing. And
he loves what he's doing now.
We were like,
okay,
we thought you wanted to do that. We've never pushed you into that. We've never said you have to do it. But he thought he was disappointed.
Let's face it, all these people, there's loads of people with degrees out there that can't get jobs. So
he loves what he's doing. He literally loves it. And then look at when he came round to it, he was right away. He was like, no, for me. I'm not sitting in a classroom.
See, I don't think it would be for Lewis either. I don't know. It might surprise me. I don't know. But again, I keep saying to him, there's no right or wrong of what you want to do. You just need to tap into what you're good at and see what fields are round about, because you need to be happy in your job. See, if you're doing something for a lifetime, there's no point in being miserable from day to day, because it spirals in your home life as well. So
I'm a great believer in trying to get them a bit of work experience, even just through mates that you know. Put them into situations, if they think they want to do that, put them in that situation and see if they like it. Like our accountant Lee was great and let Jude do a work experience week with them, and he was like, nah.
Well, Lou, my pal Lou did. Eve went in work experience last summer in her solicitor's office because
so things like
at one point she thought she might want to do law. So
and my husband's took them out in Homers, you know, to see what it's like in a big bad manual world, you know, of actually lifting tools and heavy graft. And so they've all had we can have a taster. They've worked in places like McDonald's or Innoflate and things like that. They all had wee part-time jobs to see what they liked. So I think that's a great...
It's so young, isn't it, to make up their mind?
Because think they want to do one thing and they don't have a clue what it is.
Exactly.
You know, I think I remember Luca coming home and saying he'd seen something in the careers thing and he was talking away about it, and I'm like, what is it? And he was like, I think it's, say it was being an engineer. He's like, I think it's making things and building things. I was like,
What?
So again, went online and I'm like, so there's electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, and showed them all the different ones and told them what all the uni stuff they had to do and what the actual jobs were at the end of it. And he was like, nah.
No, for me.
I was like, so you're just like, again, it's that whole in school he's read something and he's taken himself
it's like,
down
that looks fun.
I know. That sounds good. But no idea what it was. So, but it's just life.
But then I suppose as well, I remember from a young age, I either wanted to be a fashion designer or a beauty therapist. And I remember, Mind the Cumbernauld News used to have photos of people who had just graduated. And I seen someone's photo and graduating from the College of Commerce in Glasgow, and I'm like looking into what beauty was, and I was like, oh my God, you can actually get paid to make people feel good and make them beautiful. that is the career for me. So I suppose I was lucky in a young age that I was like, that is what I want to do. And I hate about this industry, people think that that's your ceiling, doing treatments. There's so much more to the industry that you could climb the ladder in, and people just don't realise.
100%. Education, management, there's
so many. God, we know Steph from the Blytheswood, she ended up going into HR. Yeah. So there's just lots of different avenues that you can go down.
There's the whole brand development, products. Yeah. There's a million.
There's so many
things.
Different
and
things.
It's such a massive industry. It's billions and billions it brings into the UK every year.
So flexible.
Yeah.
So there's lots of different routes that you can go down.
I wanted to be a midwife, but I was too lazy. I wanted to leave school and make money. I never, like my mum and dad, like we were talking about that whole generational thing, my mum and dad didn't have extra cash to give us money to go out at the weekends. So when I was 15, I had a Saturday job in Chelsea Girl, which was the shop, became River Island. I had a Saturday job, and getting that £10 or whatever I got for a day's wage, I thought I was a millionaire.
I did the Avon at 14. And then I worked in the card shop at 15.
That's me. I want to make money. I don't want to go to uni and be skint, and I don't want to study and sit in a classroom. And so midwifery would have been my thing. Do you regret it? Yes and no. I still, about maybe 15 years ago, I thought about going back into it, when things had changed and I'd had the boys, and I thought about it, and then I was like, night shifts and working around the kids and childcare and all the rest of it.
And some sad situations that can come out of that as well that wouldn't be easy to deal with. But you would get so many good ones as well.
My neighbour's daughter's just about to go into it, and I'm like, at that age I would have loved to have done that. So, but no, I don't regret that I don't have a trade.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a midwife, or I don't have an actual brand to me, if you know what I mean. I've just done a jack of all trades. I've just worked in different environments, retail, corporate, and
but
now
then you
beauty.
Build skill sets upon the way, and they're all transferable. It's just where you need to utilise them at that moment in time.
I just think we're both the same. We work things out for ourselves. We're very adaptable to situations.
And if we don't know it, we ask somebody.
Yeah.
We're never too shy important to ask or too proud to ask. The amount of times we sit in conversations sometimes and someone's talking, we're like, I don't know what that is. What? Can you explain what that is? I don't know what that is.
We're winging it. Can you tell us what you're talking about?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that either.
No, definitely not.
So it's kind of asking here beauty duos, but I can't actually think apart from us. Can you think any beauty duos?
No. In this industry, there's no really many duos. It tends to be people that are kind of, who is the big kind of a names in beauty? For us, then I would say probably Caroline Hirons.
But she's not a duo. She's
that's
by
what
herself.
I mean. So she's by herself. Yeah. But I'm trying to even think of other kind of headliners in beauty for me. Who's got a beauty brand that's Jamie Genevieve. But again, she's a single.
Herself, yeah. So if we kind of delve a wee bit deeper into like duo partnerships, do you think opposites attract, or do you think they should have the same energy as each other? I think that's a wee bit of a hard question. I think you could almost blur the lines of both. Like we do very different jobs, but we have
the same kind of energy.
Yeah, and we need to have the same ethics for it to work.
Yeah, we both get that hard working ethic. Honourable, loyal. We've got our boundaries that they're non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Always loyal, trust each other. It's like those are non-negotiables.
Because if they're crossed, that's it. The trust goes.
Like proper loyal to each other to a scary point.
To a fault.
Don't ever say anything about her to me.
Why do you think some duos last forever and others don't?
I think with Ant and Dec as well. That's what I was going to say. They're 30 odd years. I know. God.
But they say now that they're more like brothers. And
yeah.
I don't know about Ant, but I know Dec has other brothers. I think one passed away, which is sad. But he said that he feels like Ant's another brother, but his closest brother.
Mm-hmm. Well, we say that a lot as well. We're like sisters because we've worked together. So, you know, like I've got a sister, you've got a brother, we've got best pals round us. But in work, I feel like we're almost like sisters because, I mean, some of the things we've talked about and shared and you fart on me, you know, we've had...
I know, share too much at times.
Far too much. But you can have that dynamic. And I think it works because we're respectful of each other as well. We're always like, right, okay, well, maybe we don't agree on that, but that's all right.
That's it. And we're very open when we don't agree about things. And you don't have to agree with everything. No. Why do you think some don't? I'd imagine that some people just outgrow each other. That can happen too.
Yeah. You can just change.
Yeah.
You know, like different people's stages of
Stages in life, aye.
Yeah. I'd say we've probably not changed in that way, but I'm getting a bit older now and I'm like, my kind of stage of life's getting different. Do you know what I mean?
Spoke about, like, you're not at retirement yet.
No.
But what would your retirement plan look like? Because obviously... the logistics of business will then have to change and how things work. So, yeah, it's funny.
Just something we need to plan for.
Aye, later on.
I'm not going anywhere now, but... Right, okay.
Have we ever seen any energy mismatches in friendships and partnerships? Yes. I can think of ones that we're not going to mention the name but have fallen out fairly recently. You told me about it.
Right, okay.
End of that conversation.
Those are very strong, powerful dynamics.
Aye, but a bit of an odd one as well.
Aye, that I was actually surprised was a thing in the first place, but yes.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Anywho,
I'm trying to think of celebrity ones that have fallen out. Can you think of any celebrity ones?
Holly and Phil.
Of course.
Holly and Phil, they were like going holidays and all that together. And then...
well, no wonder. After Phil's
creepy
shenanigans.
And then I don't trust that Holly. She was too
sweet to be wholesome.
Aye, she was too Stepford Housewives. Nah.
Too perfect.
Aye, I don't trust people like that.
I'd love to know about more celebrities that are actual arseholes.
We've heard a couple, but we can't expose them.
And we can't expose who told us.
No. So this isn't making a great podcast.
No. We're keeping too many secrets. I'm thinking of duos. I'm trying to think of two duos and they're homegrown ones. Vic and Adam.
Vic and Adam, yeah.
They're they're like our Ant and Dec. They just
best.
bounce off each other. They're different age dynamics. They're different
they're
life
so
dynamics.
Funny together.
But just
they work so well.
The way they talk to each other. The way they one clocks out because they're doing this. The other one clocks out, but they've got each other's back and they cover each other.
Such a lovely relationship. Yeah, they're definitely one of my favourite.
Yeah. It's a good duo we end on.
Yeah. So we're coming to the end and we are
summer's coming.
Planning our breaks ahead and big goal setting for the year as we go on as well. So please watch this space on our socials. So Confessions of Beauty Boss, Urban Retreat and the Academy, because we have got some epic things coming your way, especially with the Academy. So
exciting.
Keep posted. And if you want us back for a season 3, let us know. If we're too dull now, if you've had enough of us, we're all right with that as well.
Well, if you've enjoyed, please like, share and subscribe and we'll see you in the winter.
See you soon.